How are you, Taurus? This is going to be a tarot reading for you, focused on love and relationships right now. I'm going to show you these cards, Taurus. I've been shuffling and meditating. I think we're going to be about ready to get going on your reading. But there will be messages in here for the single Tauruses looking for love. There will be messages for this person you're dealing with. It'll sound like something that you're in the middle of right now, Taurus. Potentially even something from the past. Happy Taurus season, by the way. As I'm recording, the sun has just moved into Taurus, joining Mercury there, joining Venus there, joining Uranus there, creating a stellium. So let's get into these cards. The energy is flowing in the Taurus department, in the fixed signs right now. So we've got 8 of Swords in the middle of the reading, 7 of Swords, interesting, 10 of Swords in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, the Queen of Wands, the Lovers, the 3 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the Hierophant, which is your Taurus card, Major Arcana here. Wow, Taurus, are you dealing with a Sagittarius? I have Justice at the bottom of the deck. Libra, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus. But why I ask if you're dealing with a Sagittarius, Taurus, I've just done their reading and they have the Hierophant here too, and I was thinking that was a Taurus. So if you are, why don't you check out that video as a cross watcher and see if any of that rings true for you, Taurus. All right, let's get into these cards. So our major arcanas are the ones that are presenting themselves as to us in the form of a lesson or a challenge or a hurdle or a embrace or an abundance or a gift that we are ready to receive or go through in this relationship setting. Could be you, could be your person, but that's what these kind of challenges are coming up, or time periods of growth spurts, okay? You've been very much in your head, Taurus, when it comes to the relationship. You have been very much kind of feeling stuck on something, feeling stuck thinking that, Taurus, that there's something going on around you. Either you or the person you're dealing with, you're really stuck and fixated on something that you're aware of, or no, that you're suspicious of but not fully aware of. So there was like some sort of a slowdown. You guys hit a bump in the road. I picture Taurus in the moment kind of being challenged in their relationship right now. Yeah, things look like they do get more movement and more effort being put into the relationship as things move on. But how things have been, I feel like it's been pretty challenging for Taurus. I'm imagining Taurus like on the last hurdle of a relay race. I'm imagining you like nearing the end on something, and guess what? The weather was terrible the day you were running. Really poor visibility, and then you tripped on the next hurdle. So it's something like that. But you're still kind of striving and you're still sticking it out with this person, but I definitely see like some hurdles in your way. Chariot reverse, this talks to me of like a pothole or like a bump in the road, so to speak. So for some of you, that's what's kind of happened. You needed to kind of go back, I think. So we have the 7 in the Chariot, we have the 6 in the Lovers. We hit a roadblock in the Chariot. We have to go to our lesson of the Lovers then, okay? So we didn't learn something that's coming up again for us, basically. We're going to pull cards and see what that lesson is, Taurus. 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so whatever the unfortunate issue was where you guys didn't complete something successfully, you are breaking through that now. And look, it didn't work out. Something didn't work out that you had put a lot of effort into, maybe, or we'll have to clear up what the Lovers is, because it's basically telling me when this Chariot reverses is go back to number 6. Sorry, you can't pass go this time. We got to learn something. The 10 of Swords in reverse is saying like, okay, looks daunting, looks like a more aggressive card, but really all that's saying is you've reached your breaking point on something. Done. Defeated. It reverses. Okay, the swords are falling out and things are kind of getting easier. You're still at that feeling of like you've gone to break point with something and now you're on the other side of it, beginning to come around again. So that's good, right? Okay, I'm not saying that it hasn't been challenging, and you have your real suspicion about something at the moment, Taurus. Queen of Wands in the past? Would it have been a Queen of Wands, somebody that shouldn't have been there? Would that have been the issue? We'll clear up, The Lovers card coming up in the future is you guys kind of making things right again, kind of turning your back. And I'm not just saying totally forget. I'm not saying forget everything or whatever's happened or whatever like disappointment there was. There was for some a decision, something was actually up in the courts for you and maybe that didn't work out, some sort of a legality. But for some there's like this kind of like you needing to sort of turn your back. Oh, I'm not suggesting for some it's like turn a blind eye to something is coming up now for me, but there's like a need to move on from it, okay? Sort of move on from it. It seems to be there's some sort of a source of reoccurring tension in the Taurus's relationship right now, and you worry about how much of that you can maybe bear. Hierophant is telling me, with Justice card in particular, that this is kind of, so Libra is the sign of relationships. Taurus is the sign of, I guess you would say, commitment, okay? So both of these signs, Libra and Taurus, have something in common. They're ruled by Venus, and that is the planet of relationships, harmony, value. So look, this relationship, I can tell, means a lot. Like, you know, your values have to be aligned in this relationship. And for a lot of you, this is a very important kind of soulmate connection. Like, look how strong and committed this bond is. There's something that's here that's saying that like you want this to be official, like signed paperwork, marriage, all of that. So this is where this relationship is kind of headed towards, I can see. And I think now is the time, Taurus, where we're going to start clearing up some of the cards here that we've got laid out. So let's get going. Can you see all those okay? Might be as good as I can do for you right now, Taurus. So let's see. We're gonna clear up. This is like excuse my language, like this is a head fuck here in the middle. Look at all this like binding sword energy. It looks just like, it's just triggering looking to me even. So that's kind of your present energy is a bit triggered, Taurus. Let's have a look at what's going on with this sword energy. At least you're very much in your head about something right now in terms of the relationship or in terms of love life in general. You're very much, could be overthinking. And you're not being totally true to like your soul. You're just like overthinking and you're all in your brain or something, I'm seeing. And your soul could be like, you know, relax, Taurus, don't need to worry about this. And your brain is perceiving something as a huge threat now, right now. Son of Swords, okay, and the Magician, very interesting. Maybe that threat is there in the form of somebody not being transparent with you. Somebody's not being transparent here. It could be you, it could be the person you're dealing with. The Magician doesn't really usually like to work in front of the scenes. Magicians do better work when things are somewhat occult or sort of hidden, and so there is a level of sometimes deception with the Magician card. And with this Seven of Swords, look, they're trying to get away with something by the looks of things. This is actually this has already come to like a decision that you've had to make. Justice card, where you're like, am I gonna have to like just completely get up and run? Is this where I'm gonna have to go with this? So that is coming up for me for some of you guys. Basically whatever you choose to do here, there is something to be aware of, that like, you know, you've started to make a decision and you've actually started to act and ask questions. I think you're kind of now, you know, this has been brought to light for some of you and you're starting to ask questions about, and you know, it might not necessarily be somebody else. It might just be like they're not being fully transparent about their emotional availability for you at the moment. But I do see, you know, things changing. Let's have a look at what's coming up further and further on. What was the nature of the Chariot in reverse? Something that didn't seem to go according to plan. What was the nature of the Chariot reversed? Five of Cups. Yeah, that was very disappointing. Now you are getting over it. You're licking your wounds, Taurus, and things are progressing again. But something really let you down, and someone or something really let you down, and you kind of almost felt like, for some, that it was like a loss of a limb for you. Like if you lost this person, they were so connected to you. And you had grown so much together and nurtured so much together, but you are getting over this kind of sense of loss, or like, you know, upset, disappointment about how things played out. Okay, the Lovers card. This is more, I want to see what we need to learn from the Lovers card, the High Priestess. What is your gut telling you now? Listen to your intuition, the same energy of the the High Priestess, Two of Swords. These are telling you that there is a decision to be made, and there is only one way to make this particular decision, Taurus, and it isn't with letting your emotions take over and picking that sword. What's your heart telling you? What is this overwhelming feeling telling you? Then it isn't exactly what your mind is telling you either, which could be anxiety, or could be just brain chemistry, or brain trying to keep you safe, or you know, there's intuition. That's what we need to look out for. There's an inner voice telling us. So Lovers card, what did you not learn, do you think, from this, Lovers? And that led to some sort of a disappointment. I believe this is linked, and there was something that the Lovers is a commitment, and we're losing the freedom of our singledom, but there's like a lot to be gained in that sense. But there's a possibility for liberation within the Lovers union too. Maybe it's something like that. But follow your gut. It's going to be individual for every Taurus, of course, but the High Priestess is saying, you know what this is, you know what you didn't learn that time in the Lovers card, and that's why you kind of hit a road bump. That's why, you know, Taurus, is the message of the High Priestess. Let's see, what else do we need to clear up? I guess we'll take a card for each of these. What's going on with the Wands here? Three of Wands, Five of Wands, 10 of Wands. What's going on for Taurus and this? Now we're starting to see some action. For some, too much action. Keep going. 3 cards. Four of Wands, more wand activity, Temperance, and the Eight of Swords again. So that's going to be our first and last card of the reading. Okay, Taurus? Same card, first and last card of our reading today, and it is about breaking free of a mental cycle or something you're telling yourself, this isn't good enough, this doesn't work, something like that. I'm not good enough, I don't work. So the ability to move on and leave the past behind you is to secure something that is a bit more grounded and stable in the future, putting your best foot forward, I'm seeing. And then with the arguing and fighting that's been going on in your environment, Temperance is coming in to say, right, this is all very fiery energy. This is Mars and Leo, and this is Sagittarius, fire sign Sagittarius. So this is very fiery, and this can be kind of, you know, very assertive. It can be temperamental. Temperance asks us to temper our higher, out of balance, and more extreme actions, thoughts, and words, and bring them to a higher level of understanding and consciousness. And we ascend in the card of Temperance, just embodying a calmer way of being. So that's the invitation around this argy-bargy, tension, fighting, friction, and maybe kind of now things are calming down and the fallout is calming down. Before these worries get too much to bear and become overbearing and backbreaking, Taurus, see where you can liberate yourself from what is just in your mind and what is actually based in reality. That is going to be by trusting in your intuition and your inner voice, Taurus. You are really connected to that right now. We have you empowered, sitting in your kind of your throne, your empowered position by the end of the reading, Taurus. So that's where we're going. Taurus, thank you so much for listening to that reading. That was going to be love and relationships for you, April 2021. Happy birthday, Taurus.